Hello, I'm Urologist Erdem Akkaya. Today we are going to make a video presentation about jobs and sexuality. Can our job affect our sexuality? Yes, it can. People spend most of their life at work subject to movements of work. Based on my clinical experience, the most affected jobs are the ones which you do without moving so much, instead, sitting for long hours, as in the desk jobs. And the jobs you do on computers. Or long-haul driving, or machine operators like forklifts in the industries. Forklift users are very specific examples. The patient says, I sit in the morning and stand up at lunchtime. And after lunch, I sit again to stand up in the evening. I sit 4 hours twice a day. Also, lithium batteries under the forklift may also be a problem. But forklift users are very specific. Also, bank officers are the same. These job groups should be careful because they're at risk due to their jobs. Apart from that, some people are exposed to chemicals at work. For example, welders are exposed to heavy metals while welding. So welders are very specific. I also have a lot of welder patients. Also, people who are working in paint factories. People who are working in battery factories are exposed to lead. Cement factory workers are exposed to chromium. And plastic factory workers are exposed to PFA, which is a copolymer of hexafluoropropylene and perfluoroethers. And these chemicals create the effect of estrogen, the female hormone in the body, and upset the male's hormone balance. There are a lot of chemicals in our lives, and in fact, occupational health and safety come into play here. But it's hard to say it's practiced professionally in Turkey. Why? Because the company buys this in exchange for money, and for them, it's a burden, an extra expense. So, they try to buy it in the cheapest way possible. Well, cheap service brings cheap quality. And the ones who give this service, have its training in courses in a few months. Doctors have it in 2 or 3 months course. Instead of going to university to have a degree after 4 years of studying, they can be job security specialists in a few months courses. In Turkey, or in the world, there is no branch of science on it. For example, there is a branch of science on public health but not on job security expertise or occupational health and safety. And every year more and more chemicals come into our lives. And after years, we say, look, this causes cancer, this substance makes us cancer, let's stop using it. But until then, hundreds, thousands of people are already affected. For example, asbestos. It was used in industries, in shipping, then they said that it caused lung cancer, mesothelioma. And they stopped using. But many people were already affected. Also, Bayer has a weed killer now to prevent weed growth. It was used in Turkey for decades until 2 years ago. But now, Bayer is trying to settle on with families who got badly affected due to this weed killer for $11 billion. This killer was used for years and upset the lives of hundreds. This kind of drug doesn't necessarily need to kill. These chemicals, drugs consume your energy, make you feel tired, lower your life quality, give a lot of problems. But people should also be careful. For example, a patient says that he had been using a glue that agglutinated metal to other metal for 10 years. You use that glue for 10 years, but have you ever considered if it was harmful to you or not? I mean, people should be more aware. I ask a patient if there are any heavy metals, welds in their workplaces and if they heat them up. He says, we don't do heavy work, our work is simple. I think if we gain awareness as a society, life will be better. Thank you for listening, best regards.